All right, we got some very important breaking news. Anthropic has just agreed to a partnership with SpaceX that will substantially increase their compute capacity. We're going to get into all of the numbers. That means more usage limits. And we're going to get into all of that right now. So they say this, along with our other recent compute deals, means that we've been able to increase our usage limits for Claude Code and the Claude API. So everybody who's been dealing with really tight, really stringent, really limited usage limits, that all changes now because of the Claude partnership, well, the Anthropic partnership with SpaceX to increase and double Claude's usage limits. So effective today, we are doubling Claude Code's 5-hour rate limits for Pro, Max, and Team plans. Yes, you heard that correctly. Doubled limits. So if you're on Claude, if you're using Claude Code, go ahead, run up those limits because now you have double the usage limits. Removing the peak hours limit reduction on Claude Code for Pro and Max plans, and substantially raising our API rate limits for Opus models. Our agreement with SpaceX means we will use all the compute capacity at their Colossus 1 data center. This will give us over 300 megawatts of additional capacity to deploy within the month. So let's go over here and look real quick. SpaceX says the same thing. They'll be providing Anthropic with access to our Colossus 1 of the world's largest and fastest deployed AI supercomputers, to provide additional capacity for Claude. So this is huge. So look at this tier. You have the tiers one, maximum input tokens per minute goes from 30,000 to 500,000. Here, maximum output tokens per minute goes from 8,000 to 80,000. Tier two is 400,000 to 2 million. And then the output is 90,000 to 200,000. Tier three, the input is 800,000 to 5 million. Output is 160,000 to 400,000. Tier four is 2 million to 10 million. And then the output is 400,000 to 800,000. So look at this new compute partnership with SpaceX. We've signed an agreement with SpaceX to use all of the compute capacity at their Colossus 1 data center. This gives us access to more than 300 megawatts of new capacity, over 220,000 NVIDIA GPUs within the month. This additional capacity will directly improve capacity for Claude Pro and Claude Max subscribers. A lot of people were speculating that something along these lines were going to have to take place. A lot of people were mocking Sam Altman and trying to get him to say that their compute levels were low, but every time they kept asking him or tagging him, he said, no, we don't have no issues with that. But it seems that everything that Anthropic was doing was to save their compute because they didn't have enough. And they signed that partnership here now with SpaceX. And they've been signing many partnerships here now. Uh, one with Amazon, they've been signing these partnerships so they can get more compute, and this is one of the biggest ones so far. So an up to 5 gigawatt agreement with Amazon, which includes nearly 1 gigawatt of new capacity by the end of 2026. A 5 gigawatt agreement with Google and Broadcom, which will begin coming online in 2027. A strategic partnership with Microsoft and Nvidia that includes $30 billion of Azure capacity and their $50 billion investment in American AI infrastructure with FluidStack. So they've been making partnerships because they know they're going to need this in order to keep up with competitors. But this is great for the space because it allows for these AI models to continue and still increases competition. So they say we train and run Claude on a range of AI hardware, AWS, Trainium, Google TPUs, and NVIDIA GPUs, and continue to explore opportunities to bring additional capacity online. As part of this agreement, we have also expressed interest in partnering with SpaceX to develop multiple gigawatts of orbital AI compute capacity. So, huge partnership here. and they're planning to expand internationally. Our enterprise customers, particularly those in regulated industries like financial services, healthcare, and government, increasingly need in region infrastructure to meet compliance and data residency requirements. Accordingly, some of our capacity expansion will be international. Our recently announced collaboration with Amazon includes additional uh, inference in Asia and Europe. We're very international about where we'll add capacity, partnering with democratic countries whose legal and regulatory frameworks support investments of this scale, and where the supply chain on which our compute depends. Hardware, networking, and facilities will be secure. Finally, we recently made a commitment to cover any consumer electricity price increases caused by our data centers in the US, and that's just them holding themselves accountable for all of the data center usage. So, usage limits are up today. If you guys are on Claude Code, just know that everything has been doubled. Double Claude Code 5 hours limit for Pro, Max, Team, and seat based enterprise plans, removing the peak hour limits and substantially raising their API limit. And I want to show you this right here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you. Okay, yeah, I can show you. Live from Code with Claude, we're launching Dreaming and Claude Managed Agents as a research preview. I think this is so huge. I think managed agents are going to be, well, they're already pretty significant, but I think they're going to be more significant as time goes on and as people start to realize the power of managed agents. But they're adding Dreaming to it. So it says outcomes, multi agent orchestration, and webhooks are now in public beta. So go ahead and check it out. Dreaming reviews your agent's past sessions, extracts patterns, and curates memories so your agents learn over time. Any of you guys have been in the agent harness space, like with OpenClaw and Hermes, you know that Dreaming has been something that's been implemented already on that side of it. And now we see Anthropic catching up and adding that to their workspace now. So this is going to be really huge. You can request access, and it says here outcomes lets you set the bar for quality. You write a rubric, a separate grader checks the output, and the agent iterates until it gets there. I think this is really huge. Memory is going to be such a big thing. It already is such a big thing. And improving on that with Dreaming, having the agents be able to think and pull things without you having to ask is so super huge. So subscribe to webhooks to get notified when it's done. And multi-agent orchestration lets a lead agent delegate to specialists that work in parallel on complex jobs. So available today in the Claude platform. So Dreaming has been added now. If you guys want, I'm going to start doing some walkthroughs, some tutorials, all that kind of stuff to show you guys what's going on and not just only bring you the news. I don't know if you guys want that or not. If you guys want that, let me know. Or if you just strictly want the news based content, let me know. Kind of want to make this channel around how you guys want it presented to you. But there you have it. This is a really, really huge announcement. SpaceX providing that compute for Anthropic is going to be huge, and they have came out and made it made it their first priority to increase usage limits, because if you guys have been on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, you've seen the constant complaints from people about hitting usage limits. Even their post that they posted on their YouTube yesterday, everybody was raving about the Claude Finance agents. But at the same time, if you looked in the comments, everyone was saying like, yeah, this is great. You're coming out with things, you're shipping. All of this stuff is amazing, but we're going to hit our limits the moment we try to use it. So I'm pretty sure they've been paying attention. They've been looking at the comments. They've been reading what's happening. They've been understanding what the community is saying. And now they're making this change. And this partnership with SpaceX is just absolutely astronomical. 5 gigawatts with all their other partners here is going to go a long way with Amazon, Google, Broadcom, and Microsoft and Nvidia. So this is huge for Anthropic. They really needed this. I'm glad to see that they've taken this leap and made this partnership. Of course, this is going to be great for SpaceX because they're just making money off of this deal as well. So it's good for the AI ecosystem. I'll call it that, and I'll leave it at that because that's where we have it. So there you have it. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel. If you have any suggestions for videos you want to see in the future, let me know down in the comment section below. Also, like I said before, if you want to see some walkthroughs, some tutorials, that kind of stuff, let me know. Or if you wanted strictly news related content, I can get you that stuff a lot faster than I can probably the tutorial stuff. And I can probably do the tutorial stuff on the weekends when AI news is probably slower. Just let me know what you guys want to see. Talk to me and we can make something happen on this channel. Once again, there you have it. And I'll see you in the next video.